Greetings, this is Skylar Saunders seeing What's Current. First time I heard the word Freaknik, I think it was in 1997. I was in the Lil Kim, Lil C's Crush on You video where she had the different colors. She had the green, she had the yellow, she had the blue, she had the red. She said these exact words. I'm saying what she said. I'm not the one you sleep with to eat quick, want a cheap trick, better go down to Freaknik. And I had no clue what the hell she was talking about. Now I do. at 35 years old, I know what she's talking about now because I have witnessed it, over the years. It's not just like a jump from 97 to now in 2024, but I watched the documentary Freaknik, aptly named. It was decent. It was about like a B minus C plus. Kind of C plus B minus kind of quality. It was very repetitive, but it showed the politics of the city of Atlanta. It showed the decline of Freaknik, and it's somewhat rebirth, not really a real rebirth, not the same thing. Freaknik is never going to be the same thing as it was with college students coming to Atlanta to relieve some tension from all the stress of schoolwork and being trying to be a burgeoning adult. Yeah, so just as a side note, I might have to claim a goat, but you might not like it because Dr. Dre, great producer, excellent businessman, one of the best hip hop minds of all time, best music minds, period. No question about it. He has one of the best minds in the business. He launched the careers of many people from, he was with, the niggas with attitude. He had, he put on Eminem, 50 Cent, just to name a few. And that's a big few. Those are huge names I just dropped on you. So I have to say, Dre isn't it. Okay, no. Puff. Oh my God. Oh Lord Jesus. I'll save him. Dame Dash, Dame, Killer Dame, Dame debt. Like he is in debt, but he's not broke, but he's broke. He's proud broke. It's a difference. I made a video about him. Got 6,000 views. Can this one get 6,000 views? Let's get this one to 60,000 views. Forget that. Let's get to 600,000 views. Let's get to 6 million views. You know what? Let's get to 600 million views. Let's get to 6 billion views on this. Let's do that. But anyway, Dame, record executive, like that's Dame. Super, one of the best minds again. Great mind, thoughtful. Is in touch with creativity, just making things, just building and trying out new things and seeing that things work. And a lot of times it's failed in the past. Things haven't worked like he did for Rockefeller in a long time. He hasn't had his royal successes in a long time. BS comes into the fore saying, I come in peace. That's the same thing that aliens say when they're about to take over the planet. Got that from Rami Youssef. But so it's not Dame. It's not Dame. Dame, I want to say Dame because I grew up with Dame pouring the crystal on the models and the videos. I remember all that. I was like, hey man, I want to grow up to be just like that. Come on, I gotta have these girls in a video and I'm pouring crystal all over them. Every the ish, yeah, every your shit, whatever. That's cool, but it's not Dame. It's not Dame. Trying to think of another, and then it's like super producer / who they put on, and there's a long list. There's a long list of names of people, and I know that Mr. Troy Star Terrain is on right now. So if you want to move over there, that's all right. I had the rebroadcast. It's all about the rebroadcast anyway. I get a hell of a lot more views off a rebroadcast than I do the live. Live is just for fun, going at each other with some goofy shit. That's all that is. But so if you want to move over to where Mr. Troy Star Terrain's territory is, be my guest. Well, you don't have to be my guest because you'll be his guest. But anyway, okay, so you got Swiss Beats, Timbaland, people that put on acts and had huge success with people that they collaborated with. Not this guy is he's far ahead of them, and I'm missing people. Master P, my favorite rapper, partial, but executive wise, not he got kind of close, but he didn't get all the way there. But he's still my number one rapper. So who is it? And then I'm missing people. And there's also for your record producers, Babyface, Sylvia Rome, Sylvia Robinson, a whole lot of names like that put together big names in the industry. But also didn't have the same career as this person I'm thinking of. Who am I thinking of? JD, Jurassic Dwarf to Mr. Troy Star Terrain. Jurassic Dwarf. Like he is the truest. No college degree, hardly a high school degree, and he put on the people and he worked with the people that defined an era. And I can say also like the Neptunes, stuff like that. I can say, the Incredibles and Justice League and stuff like that. But he's beyond all that. He made So Def all by himself, to my knowledge. I don't think there was anybody else, because everybody else had like a trio. Like Rockefeller was Jay, Dame, and Biggs. The Murder Inc. Was Irv Gotti and his brothers or something like that. And it's like everybody else had someone. I'm trying to think. Correct me if I'm wrong. JD had no other person beside himself, and on top of that, he had young acts. And on top of that, which I'm going to get to and try to tie in with the documentaries, there are no documentaries about him fondling, raping, molesting all the kids that he had under his acts. He had crisscross. What were they, like 11 and 12? He had Lil Bow Wow, aka Bow Wow, aka Shad Moss. He was like 12 and 13. He was my cousin's biggest crush. She was super crushing on him. I'll never forget that. What was that, like 20 years ago? 24 years ago. She was crushing on him hardcore. So, the Brat. How old was she? What was she, like 16, something like that? I'm gonna look it up real quick. Brat. In 1992, the Brat's big break occurred when she won the grand prize in a local rap contest sponsored by MTV Rap. In 1994, she debuted Funkdafied and was released at number 11. It went platinum when she was 20. She was 20 years old. Usher. How many other people can name Usher under them? How many people can name Mariah Carey? JD is that nigga. I'm gonna say he is the best producer / record executive of the last 20 years. I'm saying it. That's all. I'm saying it. So Usher just did the Super Bowl. He did 5 to 6 of his hits were written or co-produced or co-executive produced by JD. I'm giving him his props. A lot of people say give him their flowers. I don't give people their flowers that much, I might give a girl some flowers, going on a date, whatever. But I don't like that whole giving flowers because they're not going to be able to smell them when they're dead. But you believe in heaven, right? So there's no flowers in heaven, or you don't have the olfactory sense in heaven, or what's it? I'm missing something. Make that make sense. Make the math. The math isn't mathing. But yeah, I got 0 people watching me right now. But I'm so glad because I got I was at 485 Now I'm at 492 in subscribers. 7 subscribers picked up in the last less than 48 hours, less than 24 hours. So that's extraordinary for me. May not be extraordinary for the big guns, but for me, it's pretty good. So I'm very appreciative. But back to the story. Freaknik. JD was talking about it. He was talking about it on the Breakfast Club. You know, he was explaining. He was showing. You know, he was showing. You know, his. He was showing his power. He was showing his abilities. He was showing the fact that he really put it down. And in the Freaknik, you know, it was a lot of booty shaking. That's I didn't have a whole problem with that. Had a problem with the rapes. Had a problem with the fondling. Had a problem with, you know, the craziness of Freaknik. And that's what happened. They showed that disintegration. Because it was really started with the college kids in first. Then there was like 35 and 40-year-olds that came in. and they were a problem. And then they showed the Olympics in 1996 in Atlanta. They showed how, you know, the economy. It's all about that dollar sign. Let's not get confused. Let's go on track. They showed that the economy for the Olympic Games. Why everybody is so excited about the Olympic Games being in the city is because of the economy. Freaknik brought in $15 million to the local area of Atlanta, the metropolitan area. You know how much the Olympics brought in? $2 billion to the local economy. So there was an obvious, you know, shift and, you know, bringing down people, and people are arguing and complaining, and people are saying, you know, well, what about the white people down in Daytona Beach, and what about in you know, in Corpus Christi and St. Lucas and all these other places around the world and everything like that? They be wilding and crazy and going wild, you know. Some of the women don't have that much butt to shake, but that's all right. I like a pancake ass too on a white bitch. Did I say that? I just said that. Yes, I just said that. But I'm just telling you like it is. I'm telling the truth. But and I like big booties on black bitches. It's like I like the stereotypes, but I can switch too. I like if there was a black chick that had big breasts and a small behind, I could go for her too. I would go for that. And if a white chick had little titties and a big ass, I'd be like, all right, that's cute. That's cool. I'll roll with that. I can roll with that. But they showed that a lot with Freaknik. You know, the documentary was just they used like it looked like found footage, but it was obviously, you know, sent in. And the thing that everybody was like saying is at the end of the video, he said, "You know, your mama and your papa were probably down there, right?" Like, and that's probably true. Somebody's mama, grandmama, auntie, uncle, somebody was down there partying and having the time of their life, and had their cheeks out, spreading their legs on top of the cars, and what were they, the trackers and the all the different vehicles that were coming through. Somebody's grandmama, somebody's auntie, somebody's mama was out there wilding in those Freaknik streets, you know. But it was all to have a good. The gist of the documentary for me was have a good time, because life is hard to an extent. Life is supposed to be hard. It's not like the great professor and philosopher Dr. Leonard Peikoff said, life isn't an ongoing, or I'm going to paraphrase now because I'm going to forget what he said, but it's not an ongoing or everlasting orgasm. It's not like a forever orgasm. It's not. So there's going to be rough parts. There's going to be, you know, struggles. There's going to be tough parts in your life. And what Freaknik did was just give a just a relief, just a sigh, just, you know, from the daily grind of getting up in the morning. Maybe you got, you know, 3 classes in a day and they're all 2 hours long or something like that. Then you got to go to a part-time job so you can afford to live where you are. Then you got, you know, it's a lot. It goes into a lot. And then it's like, what happened was, and JD broke this down. He was like, he gave a weird example, but I understood what he was talking about. It's that the mentality of like roaches that go into the trap and then they come out and they share the food or whatever substance it is that kills them with all. It's like ironic. It's weird how he explained it, but I understand what he was saying. and he brought it back to the other ones, and then they told and they go over and tell, give the substance, the toxin to the other ones, and then they, it's like that chain reaction. So I understood that's what he was saying. He's not like spreading poison and killing everybody. He was just saying that's how the flow of things occurred. How people from New York and L.A. and Denver and Detroit and St. Louis and New Orleans all knew about this party in ATL called Freaknik, and they knew about the music scene. They knew about the beats, the booming heavy bass, and how Uncle Luke from Miami, from Florida, got involved in the Freaknik scene. He had songs like "Hey, we want some pussy." Hey. He had songs like "Pop that pussy," and that's the Two Live Crew. Two for me, two for you. So that's the gist of that whole documentary. I think it was just sigh, because it started off very like, damn, these kids just want to have a good time. They're showing their stuff. She's showing her stuff, and even the guys were showing, packages and stuff. I was like, they're showing, their stuff on the street, and it looked like everybody was having a good time, and then it just got worse and worse and worse, and it just disintegrated. And the revival is like seeing a corpse. It's like it's not the same thing. It's like it looks pretty, but it's not live. It's not jumping. It doesn't have the same appeal, because I mean they even mentioned Delaware in the documentary. They drove from Dover, Delaware. I would assume they're from Delaware State University, which is an HBCU in Delaware. So that's what I would ascertain as the facts. But it was good. It was very good. It wasn't excellent. It wasn't like, wow, this is some deep. Wow, look at that. Look how the booty shakes from the left to the right. Wow, I'm gonna have to study that. I'm gonna look that up. It wasn't deep. It wasn't like it was trying to be deep. It was itself. It was its own. It was his own creation. It was his own body. And salute to 21 Savage. 21. He was in there. He's got the executive producer credit, I think, or producer credit. Salute to him. He's only what? How old is 21 Savage? I know he's not 21. He is. I'm gonna look for his age. Born in 1992, so he's 31 years old. He's 31. So I do think he is on his way to becoming an even more successful businessman if he creates these documentaries. So I think this is going to be one of the top documentaries. It's been produced by Hulu, and also I think produced by Mass Appeal, which is I think owned by Nas, if I'm not mistaken. I think he owns Mass Appeal. But it was just in the pocket. It was very. I watched the whole thing. Like I said, they show a lot of footage like from the video cams, the camcorder. They made a point of that. If you had a camcorder in your hand, you would be able to document all that. And I remember when I was a kid, when I was like 11, 12 years old, maybe even older, 13, 14. I went down to Virginia Beach, not even in Atlanta, but Virginia Beach. I remember the guys, they had the camcorders out, and they were showing the girls. Girls had the thongs on, and they're walking on the strip. I remember them saying, "Woo, look at that, woo, that." It was like it's kind of awkward because it was like that mix of like young adults and like older like people in their 40s and 50s with their kids and stuff. Like in our situation, it was just kind of awkward at the same time because I don't know. I just remember them with the camcorders and the girls with the pretty faces. That's all I remember. But that's what Freaknik was really about for Atlanta. Atlanta is the mecca for Black businesses, Black communities, Black ownership, Black realization, and I think that's one of the best parts that happened to Atlanta, because if you know your history, you know about General William Tecumseh Sherman, what he did to Atlanta, or what he disallowed. I think what happened to Atlanta. A lot of people say he burned Atlanta to the ground. Well, there are rumors, or there are contested sources in history that say that he didn't really burn down the city of Atlanta, but he didn't prevent it from being doused. He didn't prevent them from putting out the flames. Like, I think the Confederate soldiers lit the bales of cotton in the different storehouses on fire, and he's just like, no, 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 let him blaze, let him fire, let the fire keep going, like let that motherfucker burn. I'm trying not to cuss, but I just had to get that one in. let it burn, let it burn. He didn't even mind. He didn't mind. But that's old. That's 19th century stuff. This was the 20th century. 90s. This is my formative years. This is when I first start, understanding what, who women were, and what a man's role is in life, and all those different, building blocks to a proper life, a happy life, a great life. And so, I just looked at this documentary. I was like, wow, I was 8 years old in '96. Like, goddamn, like 7 and 8, because I wasn't 8 till about June. So it just hit me. I was just like, damn, like this Freaknik stuff. And then like little Kim's line, you better go down to Freaknik. I was like, what? What's Freaknik? What is this Freaknik stuff? And then like years later, you fast forward, they had some rumblings about having a new Freaknik in 2019, and then in 2022 they had a concert series in having Freaknik, and there are differing opinions. There was one opinion saying like, oh yeah, we gotta introduce that, we gotta keep that going, we gotta live with that, we gotta do that, we definitely gotta do that. And then other people were saying, maybe not, let's hold off on that. We should have more time. Give us a little bit more time on that. Because it's never going to be like it was. It's not going to be the same thing. It's going to be a totally different idealism. And that's what I think is going to happen, this whole time, I think. I think it's going to be a problem, to say the least. I mean, it's not going to be like a derogatory, like people are going to get raped again or something like that, or fondled, or be violated in a major way or anything like that. I just say that, like I said, it's gonna be a corpse. You can dress up a corpse beautifully, but it's still dead. It's still not the same person. It's still not alive. There's nothing there. There's no spirit there. There's no, personality there. There's no life. There's nothing there. There's no sign of life. Well, you can dress it up. You can put them in a nice little box and, put makeup on them and put the light on them, and everything looks nice, and they're clean, and they smell good, or I don't know, but it's not the same. Whatever the Freaknik that they're trying to put out there now is not the same. But they showed, a lot of the different issues, like the traffic system. Like LA is always, notorious for its traffic. This is the I-5, the I-8. I think there's something like that. But Atlanta is also notorious for its traffic system. And then they showed like people that were just coming out of their businesses and wanted to go home, and it took them 3 hours just to get off the off ramp. Like stuff like that was just crazy. Just, I don't know. That was even during like the good years of Freaknik, like the good years, the good old years, like 90, 92, 93 kind of era. Like in 94, they said it was the golden year, or the platinum year, or the diamond year, or the best year. 94. They said 1994 was the best year because there were really no physical incidents of physical, molestation, fondling, or rape, or sexual assault, or anything like that. Nothing on that caliber. They had, I think there was a time with when Biggie came down and he did his songs. He rapped at a concert. So I think that's crucial to what the whole idealism is. That's why I think it is. That's why I got from the Freaknik. That's what I was understanding. That was the whole point for me, anyway. see all those chicks. They had a lot of beautiful black women, like a lot. Like that's That's the kind of the black woman that I'm like, yeah, I would have liked that if I was that age, in that college era. Like I said, the mamas and the granddaddies and the Grammys and the papas and the meemaws and the poppies, they were down there. Well, maybe not too many poppies. There was a few poppies probably, but mostly papas and granddads and Grammys. They were down there getting it on the street and like it was crazy. But the origination, they showed the co-founders of Freaknik. They put together. Here's the thing: of Mr. Troy Star Terrain's favorite bands, one of his favorite brands, Chic. They had Le Freak, the song Le Freak, and that has a story. That story is funny. They said, get. I'm still using the F word. I'm gonna use the F word again. Get the fuck out. That's what the freak was really supposed to be. Let freak, says Chic, says Chic. Let freak, because that's what they said. Because then they shortened it to fuck. And then they said we can't say fuck on the radio, so we gotta say freak. So let's say the freak. All right, let's do the freak. All right. So they used that. They said freak and then picnic, and then they say allegedly. This is alleged. I don't have any. There's no substantiated evidence. This is like calling Cleopatra black. I don't ever want to say she's black. I don't think that's true. I read in a book on Julius Caesar that said that that she had she's really Greek or from Roman blood, and she just happened to be the queen of Egypt in Africa. I know a white woman in Egypt. Go figure. If they can let a mixed race man be the president of the United States, go figure. What does it matter anyway? Who gives a shit? As long as they can govern. She probably ruled though. That's the difference. And she got bit by the asp, and that's a totally different story. But like I was saying, they put together the picnic, which they say picnic means pick a nigga, which I don't think that means it. It means I'm gonna look it up real quick. I'm looking it up real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. Solve this riddle. Okay, this isn't helping out too much. Look for this. Picnic. A meal eaten outdoors. To pick small things. That's picnic. Pick small thing. That's a picnic. Okay? That's where Freaknik gets its name. Freak, Le Freak, Chic song, and picnic. Pick small things. Freaknik. And it just blew up. That was a viral moment before viral moments were viral. It spread. Like I said, went through all the different cities, Denver, LA, Brooklyn, and and all parts in between, different places. Omaha, Nebraska. And people just came, drove hours, days, stopped in motels and kept going just to see what Freaknik was about. And really, there was no really body. There was really no. I mean, they had concerts and stuff like that, but there was no venues. It was just cars lined up with niggas hanging out, woo, woo, and girls shaking their booties and dudes, showing their chests and stuff like that. Crazy shit. It was wild. But that was Freaknik. That, like before, 94 was probably its best year, I have to say. Yeah, 94. I understand, because like I said, when it went down, it went down. It completely fell apart. It was a mess afterwards. It was terrible. So I have to just say that much. Freaknik, really had a grasp on popular culture. Like I said, with the Lil Kim line, you better go down to Freaknik. I was like, what the hell is a Freaknik? Like, what is that? And of course, T-Pain picked it up. He had the trademark for the name Freaknik for his animated series on Cartoon Network. And then that trademark fell out of usage, and another gentleman, I forgot his name, I can't remember his name, but he picked it up and said, you know what, I'm gonna do the new Freaknik. More power to him, but I don't think there's not going to, and for good reason. For good reason, there's not going to be another Freaknik. And like I said, there's probably going to be something bigger and better and safer for everybody to enjoy for the new millennium that's still upon us. We're still in the 20s, so keep them roaring. All right, so second half of the story. Second half of this missive, this little story I got going on. My day. Let me talk about my day. My day was glorious. My day was wonderful. I got to see my auntie, my our cousin. Really, she's my cousin, but I call her aunt. She's in great health. She's 77 years today. I said happy birthday to her. You know, I just love that she's got her wits. She's feisty. She knows what she wants. She's great. I got to see my cousin, I guess you can say. He's a good guy. Thanks the world of my dad like I do. I think everyone does. But yeah, so yeah, that's how I see it anyway. But we went out to eat. We went to a place called oh my god, it was Mission BBQ, Mission Barbecue. It's like fast food, but almost like a like a sit down restaurant. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not like McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's or Arby's or something like that, but it's close. The style of how the orders go is like that. You get your food kind of fast, but it's very rich and very strong. It's very good. It's very strong service, very strong. Eating some strong fixings. It's excellent. It really brings in you have to bring your hunger because I had a 5-bone ribs and I was feeling it during the day. I was like, man, I gotta take a nap. But I gotta watch this documentary. I was I'm gonna sleep good tonight though, because like that Dave Chappelle sketch, thanks ribs. It will, and you'll get what are the side effects? Mud butt. You get mud butt. So again, I have 0 people watching. I guess Rick James is on his dust. I don't know, but BS came in and left. I don't know. There's 2 likes. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, so that was just amazing. It was an amazing meal. I had collard greens and macaroni and cheese. Comfort food all the way. Sounds like some soul food to me. Ribs, collard greens, macaroni and cheese. Sound like some soul food to me. They had some flavored sodas. Sounds like some soul food to me. I'm channeling the late great Paul Mooney when he was talking about president at the time, Bill Clinton, saying he had a 12-size shoe. Sounds like a brother to me. Eats at McDonald's. Sounds like a brother to me. Got a white woman that makes him money. Sounds like a brother to me. Did anybody see that? This is a break, but did anybody just see the image? Just the image. I know this was probably concocted, and they didn't really do this. It may not have been real money, but what's her guy name? It's Funny Marco and Funny Marco. Let me make sure I get her name right, because just the image of it was great. Bobby Altoff. That is That's a down ass bitch, if you ask for me. She had literally a bag of money, and she just dumped it in Funny Marco's lap. Now I know that's probably bullshit. I'm pretty sure that's all she's gonna. If it's real money, she's gonna collect it and keep it for herself. And that really didn't happen. It was just for the sketch. Ha ha he he. I'm probably sure that's what happened. But just the image of that was spectacular. Just the image of a white woman giving a black man money. That is great. I don't care. That's to me is wonderful. Any woman, but especially a white woman. I know they played it for laughs, but that to me was like that warmed my heart. I was like, really? That's America. That's what makes America great. That's what makes America great. We can make America great again. White women dumping, loads of cash in a black man's lap. That's America to me. But I digress. I have gone way off the topic. Today, my auntie's birthday, 77 years young, looking fine, looking good, looking, as she should. Still got her mind about her, still got her thoughts, got her wits about her. She would say, "Thank the Lord, hallelujah, Jesus." She's a first lady. she's like a pillar in the community. She has weight. She knows people. She can dial up heavy people in this state. She knows people. So, and people know her. So she's definitely got, her, bearing on who she is and what she represents. But my cousin, he's really cool too. He's like in his 50s, I think, or something like that. Yeah, so you gotta represent for him, because like he just adores my dad like I adore my dad. Like just the same thing. It's like we're almost brothers in a way, huh? Even though we're like years apart. We just have that kind of camaraderie. We have that understanding between each other. But no, we just had a ball. We just ate up, laughed, talked. That's how we do. You know how we do. We laugh, we talk, and we go back and remember this and remember that, and have a little more of that. And then talking to the general manager, this surprised me. The general manager was putting in work. The last general manager I had at the job, he was not on the grill and stuff like that. This guy was taking orders. He was busting his ass. Seriously, he was going in. But it must be different, in certain circumstances. It must be different. But I just was taken aback, and I have to give you a little bit of background on Mission Barbecue. They are heavy, okay, on military and first responders. Heavy. Like I said, God damn, they really on their shit. They got some real shit going on right now. They got uniforms up. They got goddamn whatever. They got uniforms hanging up. They got pieces of memorabilia and helmets and different things that all different markers of the military branches and the police and the firemen and all patches all over the place. It's crazy, but I respect that because I'm a veteran. I'm a United States Marine. And I'm proud of that. Nothing. Nobody can tell me nothing about that. You can't tell me nothing. But yeah, I would definitely I'll give them an A+. I'm serious, not just because of their military side, but because the food was really good. They had excellent food. Maybe an A, not an A+, because only because they named their what was it, sweet potato pie. It wasn't really pie. It was like sweet potato fluff or sweet potato mousse or sweet potato, souffle or something. It wasn't sweet potato pie, but it tasted good. It just didn't have the right name. They just need to put the right name on it. Then they'd be all right. But I still loved it. It was a great atmosphere, great ambiance, great understanding of customer service. Um, so I definitely want to recommend it. This free advertising. I'll give you my advertising right now. Let me do my advertising, but let me say free advertising. They're not paying me. I haven't signed a deal with them, but Mission Barbecue, you got my stamp of approval. I appreciate your dedication to the military and first responders, and continue to do great work and just have good food. That's all we ask, And if we can get a discount, that's cool. But make sure you have good food. That's all y'all have to do. That's all anybody in the services in the police force in the firehouse. That's all they ask for is have a good meal. So I appreciate that. Now, lest I forget my own advertisers, check out Pang's products from Lifestrong Co. Apparel. That's LifestrongApparel.com. Lifestrongapparel.com. I've never tested out any of his products. He keeps saying he's going to come to me straight to my face. And I can't wait because we haven't seen each other in like 17 years. So, hit him up. Let him know that Skylar Saunders sent you to his site. Try out his stuff. I'm not trying this stuff out. I got to get stuff for free. That's what the promotion's for. And the money. I get money and I got to get free stuff to try out. So go to Pang's products on apparel on LifestrongApparel.com. All right. Now, subscribe to @BEEJACKSON5478 on YouTube. Tell them I sent you. Skylar Saunders says that B Jackson is 5478. That's what you should put in. Is the truth. He tells it like it is. He'll not bullshit you. He has near beer. He has chicken. He's got sardines. He's got all these things lined up. All of them lined up. And he makes great points. He makes it humorous. He makes it fun. So definitely check him out and tell him I sent you, Skylar Saunders. Also, if you want to listen to Anita Baker, Sade, Gapman, Rose Royce, the Sly and the Family Stone, hit up on YouTube SPIRITSMOOTHTUNES, Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. Tell him that Skylar Saunders sent you. You'll not be disappointed. He has the best selection in a catalog of different musical stylings, and you'll definitely be impressed. So make sure you check them out. Also, if you want to advertise on and sponsor or have me sponsor your work, your dance club, your your hair styling gel, whatever the product is, send it to me and send some money together with it, and I'll test it out and say, this is a good product. I can only promote Pang's product. I can only promote the website because it's an excellent website, but I can definitely promote B Jackson and I forgot about goddamn. I don't know why. I just because my name isn't on there. That's why. But Spirit Smooth Tunes, because I've definitely tried out their products and they definitely give me good money to do it. So, not to say that Pang is giving me good money too. But check out .focus, DOTFOCUS _1_ .focus, twitch.tv/DOTFOCUS _1_ He has a gaming habit. We need to break him from it. He needs intervention. No, I'm kidding. He's got a great gaming eye. I watched some of his gameplay. He's like a sniper. He pops the guy. It's crazy. He makes it fun. Like, I don't know how he does it. It's warfare, but it's fun. I don't know. It's weird. But definitely check out .focus _1. You can also join Skylar's 100 Club by donating $100 or more to the broadcast. And how you can do that? You can use PayPal, paypal.me/SKYLERSAUNDERS, or Venmo at SKYLERIZED, or Cash App, $SKYLERSAUNDERS. That is, and one, excuse me, let me make sure you have the one in there. And I have $0 raised today, $160 to go. So you can use those PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App platforms to support the show. And I thank you very much. All right, let me continue with my day. So, we spent about maybe 2-3 hours, I think, just eating, talking, laughing. It's a great atmosphere. It's great because you're not like rushed. You're not feeling like, God, there's another party waiting and we have to turn the table. No, they're like tables and booths, but it's like you just get your tray of food and it's good. It's like you're golden. And they have, I have to say, the macaroni and cheese on point. That's a sticking point for me. If your establishment does not have good macaroni and cheese, it's like a slight. Like, I remember, what was it? I think it was Popeyes. See, they got banging chicken. Popeyes has the banging chicken. However, that macaroni and cheese could use some work. I think they use powder and like that just just some noodles and water and stir it up. I think that's what they do. They don't really use real cheese. I don't know. Allegedly, I didn't really taste the real cheese in the Popeyes macaroni and cheese, but Chick-fil-A got banging chicken and macaroni and cheese. So salute to them. But it was a different experience, and it was my first time there. It was the first time at that location. It opened up 10 years after September 11th. I don't know if they did that just as I'm pretty sure it wasn't an accident. I'm sure they did it on purpose. But it was exactly 10 years after September 11th, 2011. Was when that site opened. But it was weird in the bathroom though. I was like, there's a lot of females in here. It was like at USO, like women at the USO wearing tight fitted, outfits and stuff like that, and then like the girls with the legs up, and I'm like, is this like a JO bathroom? Are they trying to like tell you like you can JO in here or you jerk off? Like what is up with all these girls around here? What are y'all doing? What's up? I don't. It was a little weird. It was a little weird. I was just like, is this really the place for this? I mean, little kids coming in there, like, minors, That's what I'm concerned with, But otherwise, and it wasn't like there were ugly women. There were some of the most beautiful women in history, I think, that came to USO tours and stuff like that, and visited with the troops. Marilyn Monroe, I think, was on the one of the panels, one of the pictures. But yeah, so it was all it was all in fun. It was a great outing for my auntie turning 77. 77. Ayn Rand died at 77. Like, that's how extraordinary time goes. I mean, I'm not saying that Ayn Rand could have lived to be 150. I'm not saying that, and I wish she could have, or even beyond that. I wish she could have lived forever. But I'm just saying in the time frame, and this is just an example. This isn't just like, oh my God, I think the national average for women and black women is like 60 something or 70, early 70s, and for white women it's like 78 or something like that. But or 80, or maybe or later. But to have her wits, to have her mind is not a blessing. I almost said it. I admit I almost said it, but it's fortunate. It's medicine. It's science. It's technology. It's her taking care of herself. That's the power of longevity is be able to be selfish, taking care of oneself. not to be detrimental to other people, not to denigrate or degrade others, not at the expense of others. That's not what selfishness means. Selfishness means to be able to hold yourself at the highest esteem. Other people don't even come in the picture. I mean, you look at that in the dictionary, it usually says, "Oh, selfishness, self-interest to the point of not caring or not, or deriding or denigrating others." Where did others come in the first place? It's still about you. It's still about, they're good like 30s and 40s dictionaries that say selfishness is, self-interest in yourself, or concern with one's own self-interest. That's legitimate. That's on the point, but it doesn't give a moral evaluation. It doesn't say, whether it's good to be self-interested. It just said that you're self-interested. But what I think is so instrumental is the idea of taking the thought of um being in it and matching it, and that's what selfishness means. And now, this is totally different. This is another idea. It's totally different. And let me make sure I get this right. Hold on. I want to know. Now, this is from 7 days ago. Well, actually, let me see. Yeah, this is from at least 7 days, a week ago. The Doomsday Part 2. Did anybody see that? The Doomsday Part 2 Eminem video? Everybody's dressed like me. What the hell? Did I influence Eminem? I'm crazy, but am I going crazy? I had this look out before Eminem, like, and I could actually say that I stole this look from uh Run DMC, because they have the fedoras. I have the trilby, and they have the black shirt with the gold chain. They have the Dookie gold chain. I just have the tie. But in the Doomsday video, everybody has a black shirt and a tie. So it's like, and the gold, the black shirt and the gold tie. I'm just like, did they copy me? am I too is that too selfish? Is that too megalomaniac maniacal of me to be thinking, or solipsistic of me to think of myself from the point of view of this white Diamond Boy and all these other rappers in the video? I was just like, wait a minute, what? Took me a minute. It's about 8 days ago now. It's got 6 million views on Lyrical Lemonade, Eminem. Doomsday 2, directed by Cole Bennett. And he's just going through with a black shirt and a gold tie. Like, did I start something? I think I'm gonna claim that. I'm claiming that. I really think I started something. I really do think I started something. I mean, because how else? It's crazy. I don't know. It just caught me. I just had to mention that. It was real. It was real wild. Um, but now as the credits roll, the credits are longer than the daggone video, I think. But yeah, it's all is yellow. Juice World and Corday. So it's weird. This was 8 months ago. The Eminem version came out, and or the Eminem video came out just 8 days ago. Well, one of them, the Doomsday one, has him with the blonde hair. Then he has the dark hair, dark brown hair. It's just goofy. I don't know, but yeah, I had a great day today. I don't even know how. I think I had that in my suggestions, you know, field. But other than that, it was just funny. It just caught my attention. I was like, damn, why they got black shirts and gold ties now? What is going on? What's up? It was crazy. No hats, no hats. If they had the hat, then I'm like, yeah, they stole that from me. Now I'm looking for copyright infringement, which I don't think you can do. Maybe you can do name, image, and likeness. Maybe image and likeness. I could have probably fought for it, but I think that it's very powerful to have an idea circulate through the web. Like going back to the documentary Freaknik, they try to come back with it, but it's not the same. It doesn't have the same flavor. We have more jumping parties and we show more flesh on OnlyFans. We have more jumping parties and BLK and Plenty of Fish, POF. We have more. It go down in the DMs. The Matrix is more so than our own lives. Our own lives are like not real. It's not. It's like the Nebuchadnezzar in the movie The Matrix. We're eating gruel. We're eating like oatmeal like stuff, and then posting that we had like lobster and shrimp and caviar on the gram and getting hundreds of thousands of likes, and shares. And what are and on X? Is it re-X's? That's another thing I have to. Did you X me? Did you X this? Is it X? Like, I still am confused about that. I don't even know if you call it X anything. Is it just X the title of the that goes in the space bar? It goes into not in the space bar, but it goes into the address bar. Is it the HTML? Is it the link? Is it the site? Is it just the X? That's it. And all this time, I started out like 2 minutes ago, and they saw, everybody was like, Star Report, let me go over to see him. And that's okay, because I get more views when it comes to the rebroadcast. I'm all right. I'm okay. I appreciate you. So, I'm getting closer. I got 492 subscribers. So, only 8 more to get to 500. Then I have to get to 3,000. Then I have to get to 4,000 hours watched. Just to qualify. For super stickers and super chat. That's all I need. So I'm very focused and dedicated to this platform. I wasn't going to do it. I really wasn't. But Mr. Chore Starts to Rain opened the door and said, you got to walk through. I mean, you don't got to walk through, but I've been walked through, and I'm eating lovely off of these super chats and super and likes and Cash Apps and PayPal and Venmo. And I don't know if he does Venmo, but I know he does Cash App and PayPal. But I still think that's wonderful. So, if at all it gets to the point where we do not have a full understanding of ourselves And this harkens back to the documentary Freaknik. We gotta have an understanding of ourselves and who we truly want to represent in this world. We have to be confident and we have to be cognizant of our roles to ourselves, not to anyone else, but selfishly, rationally. That is the key. That is what makes us human beings. That's what separates us from the other animals. It gives us the opportunity to do the best in the world for our own lives, not for the greater good, which is no such thing as the greater good. What the hell is the greater good? There's no such thing. But for our own selfish well-being, flourishing, and the ability to thrive. That's all we are. That's all we ever will be. That is the key. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. And I hope you subscribe. Tell other people to subscribe and continue to keep this whole machine rolling. I appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow. Take care.